In this video, we will learn about the percentile and quartiles and how to use Excel to find these values. For percentiles, there are two functions, percentiles.inc and percentile.exc. This function, this upper one, returns the k percentile of a data set, including the values 0 and 1. This is including, that's why we have the INC. This stands for including. The percentile.exc stands for excluding. So this function returns the k percentile of a data set excluding the value 0 and 1. To get access to these functions, you can type them directly on the spreadsheet, or you can select the formulas tab, click Insert Functions, and select Statisticals for the category, and then choose the percentile.inc, click OK, or percentile.exc, click OK. And for the array, we highlight all the data value. The array means all the data value. And for k, we enter the percentiles as a decimal value. So for example, we have the 10 numbers below. I'm looking for the 25th percentiles. So I enter the 10 values in one column. I click Formula, Insert Function, choose Statisticals, and then choose the percentile.inc. Normally, I would use the function inc because I want to include the values of 0 and 1. And I click OK. Now, for the array, we just simply select everything from the data column. And then I'm looking for the 25th percentile. So I enter the percentile as decimal value. 25th percentile is 0.25. And the result is 47.25. And you can also click OK here. Please note that Excel uses a slightly different approach than the simplified method described in the textbook, and therefore we will often be a little bit different comparing to the values that we use from our regular textbook. Okay, let's try this on Excel. So I enter the values I have here. Now I go to Formula tabs, select Insert Function, choose Statistical, and then scroll down, pick percentile .inc. The array would be everything. Oh, sorry, this is percent rank, so this is not the right function. So click on the Insert Function. So make sure you pick the correct one. This is percentile.inc, this one. The array, everything from the data set. We are looking for 25th percentile, so 0.25, and this is the answer. If you're looking for the 70th percentile, then that is 0.7, and click OK. Okay, the next one is the quartiles. Quartiles, we can actually use the percentile function as well, but we also have the quartile function. Again, .inc includes, this function includes the median of the data set when we calculate the Q1 and Q3, the first quartile and the third quartile. And if you use the exc, this one will exclude the median of the data set when calculating the Q1 and Q3. Again, we would select the Formulas tab, Insert Function, Statistical, and then choose the quartile.inc because I want to include the median of the data set when calculating the Q1 and Q3. And then for the array, I highlight all the data value. And then for the quart, I enter 0 to find the mean. If I'm looking for the mean value of the data set, I enter 0. If I'm looking for the first quartile, I enter number 1. If I'm looking for the second quartile or Q2, I enter number 2. If I'm looking for Q3, I enter number 3. And if I'm looking for the maximum value, I enter number 4. So I choose statistical, quartile.inc, click OK. And then because I'm looking for the first quartile, so I enter number 1. All right. Okay, so let's try that. So we got before the 25th percentile is 47.25. Now we are looking for the first quartile. We go insert function, statistical, and we type in or look for the quartile.inc. And then the array would be all the list of the value, and the I'm looking for the first quartile, so I enter number 1, and I click OK. And you see that they are the same, right? The first quartile is the same thing as the 25th percentile. So you can actually use the percentile function to find that same value. Or you can just use the quartile. Now, if I'm looking for the second quartile, I enter number 2, right? And second quartile is also the 50 percentile. So I can just go here to the percentile formula. Instead of 0.25, I put 0.5, and I do end up with the same thing. So you can use either of the two formulas, and you should end up with the same answers. They're just different in terms of the definition, the names, but the calculation would be the same. And again, Excel uses a slightly different approach than the simplified version of the textbook to find the quartile. So sometimes you might see a little bit different in the values. So don't be surprised about that.